Alright guys, let's continue on. We just got Lucas on the team, which is cool. Let's see if he's good enough to stand by my side, or we're going to have to put the girl Angeli back in Swamp Battlefield.
Is a friend of ours. General Devonsey is further on ahead. Just follow the path. Jane will send her army against the Citadel soon. Our war isn't done.
Hardly any Asenites at all.
So this place was obviously devastated. All these bodies on the floor.
Stand away there. Not so close to the general.
Never mind. I can hardly be called a general, with Her Majesty's army lying dead all around us.
Sorry, Lord Devonsey. Sir.
Forgive the boy. A few months ago he was a royal page. Now he's a soldier. Such are the depths to which we have fallen. I'm surprised to see any travelers on the road, with so many of Jane Cassinda's soldiers about. What brings you to this ill-omened place?
We were sent by the Legion. We're heading south to reclaim the old chapter house in Stonebridge.
Well said. Best to be open with him. Perhaps he'll return the favor.
The Legion? So the rumors are true. A gathering in the north. The rebirth of the old Legion. That's beside the point, though. I'm afraid you're stuck here with the rest of us.
All the dead soldiers were yours? How did this happen?
Jane Cassinda's army was encamped in the swamp. I thought I'd catch her unaware, send her scrambling back to the spire. So I force-marched out of Glitterdale, sighted her troops at the base of the cliffs, and gave chase. In the first charge, we drove half her forces into the bogs. I could see Jane, not 50 feet from my lines. She had nowhere to run.
You smelled victory, and that's when the battle turned.
Jane sent a few of her sappers round back of my lines. They collapsed the roads behind me. Clever move, I'll give her that. Half my army, the young ones mostly, saw their escape route cut off. Didn't matter, as we were winning. They panicked, broke and ran. Some of the veterans held their ground and died where they stood. The rest retreated here.
She boxed you in, with her forces on one side and the bogs on the other.
Killed half my people with the cannons. The rest tried to flee into the bogs and drowned. And here I am, trapped in this swamp, cut off from the Queen. She has only her maids to protect her now.
What forces do you have left?
Only the baggage train. and a
Doesn't
few
seem like
cannons.
much.
One of my officers, Roderick, had command of the baggage train. He managed to keep the wagons out of sight, hid them under those massive roots. Unfortunately, the men who are guarding the wagons are my greenest troops, former servants and the like. The only blades they've ever wielded are kitchen knives.
What about those massive roots? We can walk across them like a road.
Indeed, they'd support our weight, and my cannons and wagons too. But the roots are separated by stretches of water. In order to create a path, we'd have to raise the land between them. Impossible, you might say. But I have a man in my army with power over earth and stone. A scholar called Phineas. If only he were here.
We need to find this scholar Phineas. Where has he gone?
He was among the first to be taken by the damned savages. They fell upon us not long after the battle, and they've been mounting raids and abducting our wounded ever since. First people, that's what the scholars call them. Only Azenai knows what they call themselves. I thought of mounting an attack on their village to rescue Phineas and the others. But my surviving soldiers are too few and too young. If I had your help, though...
Let's try talking to the first people before we do anything rash. Maybe they mistook you for a threat.
Now there's a bit of sense. Makes me happy I'm on our side.
A reasonable theory, but I've met their kind before. Scavengers preying upon the weak and the wounded. They won't negotiate unless you hold a sword to their throats. I'll gather whatever men I can, the ones who can still fight, and we'll meet you there.
Sounds good.
I saw you speaking with the general. They must be in dire straits to rely on passers-by. But Lord Devonsey has seen fit to trust you. You already know of the savages in the bog. Beastly lot they are. Some of our best soldiers were captured in their raids. Others have gone missing. We sent scouting parties into the bog. I armed them as best I could, but baggage trainers...
If your people are raw recruits, they won't survive long in the swamp. Let me look for your missing soldiers.
You surprise me. I can offer you little more than some extra supplies. And my thanks. Look for them to the east, out in the bog. We sent out 2 scouting parties. Hopefully the swamp hasn't claimed them. Devonsey won't permit any more of us to leave camp, so you're the only chance they'll get.
Alrighty. See if we can find these guys buddies first in our next attempt.
I know that man. Lord Devonsey. I've seen him before, or...
You never served with the Royal Army, did you? How else could you have met?
No, I don't remember meeting him, but I know his face. Hang on. I've seen him in a portrait, standing right next to my father. More brown in his hair, and not so much of the silly sideburns, but there were others in the portrait too. Legionnaires, all of them.
Well, Gloamwood Bog.
Disgusting creatures. I'd sooner kill rats.
One more down.
Look here. These roots are like a primitive door, or a gate.
I don't know if I'm liking this warrior guy with me, but let's just keep him on board for now since he's new. We'll most likely switch him out in a little bit. Jeez, these slugs are pretty powerful. But no match for my rifle.
There are too many. Fall back. Fall back.
Oh yeah.
You make short work of them. I'm glad we're on the same side.
Alright guys, get ready for the next video, which looks like it's going to be crazy up in the swamp. So we're going to definitely continue on right now, right after this.